Hello everyone, I'm Heather. Okay, today's Shorty September read, Albert Camus, Create Dangerously. So The Stranger, I also have The Stranger by Albert Camus, and it's on my shelf and it has been for roughly a decade. I will get to it. I can tell from your face that you don't believe me, okay? But you have little faith. I will get to that. Maybe after I read this, who knows? I'm wild, okay? But this one is the last of my tiny ones for this Spain trip, okay? Camus argues passionately that the artist has a responsibility to challenge, provoke, and speak up for those who cannot. In this powerful speech, accompanied here by others. So I think it's like it's got 3. So create dangerously, defensive intelligence, and bread and freedom. Oh, sounds very powerful. I'm excited. Okay, today's plan. We're gonna get on the train to go to Tarragona. But only God knows if we'll get there, because the train to Tarragona is confusing in a way that the other trains are not. So we could just end up in, like, you know, the transfer station, like a couple stops down, in which case, you know, we'll have a light lunch and come back and go to the beach. Might be better anyway. Look at this lady. Just sitting here minding my business, doing my calendar, and I've been visited by a little lovely lady. Hello, lady. I've given a little bit of bread snack. I have a little sharing of breakfast going on. I whistled at her and she looked at me, and now she's staring me down. Like I said, her husband's a looker. Okay, interesting things we saw in Tarragona today. Did you know that video that goes like viral, that goes around, of those people climbing each other like a mountain, that happens in Tarragona? Like, we see that video all the time, of those people climbing each other, like cheerleaders on crack. And I just thought, oh, it's in Spain somewhere, whatever. It's in Tarragona, and we've been there. Did you know also that they use kids to go to the top?
Like 8-year-olds.
Would you want to be one of the kids that goes to the very top of the pile?
You wish.
They wear helmets. Like, I feel like they're probably fine.
They were like 8.
Okay, I finished the first speech in this, like the Create Dangerously one, and it is heavy. So obviously it's a shorty, but that took me ages to get through just that, like, half of it. Like, you've got to really think about what he's saying. Like, I do love a book like that, but not on holiday. But you always sort of like think in your time, in your like place and space, you know, you're like, oh, these are wild times, you know, these are unprecedented, unique challenges in this wild new world, you know, and like, it's never like that. It never is like that. It's just history just going round and round and round and round. Like, we're just living through times everyone else has lived through at some point. And like, so Albert Camus is writing from the 50s, like right after the Second World War, and loads of the stuff he's writing is so applicable to now. Like, I wrote down a couple quotes, like, that just seem very now, like how artists in this time are pushed to be on a side and to take a strong stand on that side and defend that side with their art, or be criticized for not taking a stand and being silent while things in the world sort of happen. I feel like that's very true to now as well. But he's basically saying, and I feel like I don't agree with his very serious view of an artist, okay? He's talking about how artists like can't just make frivolous art. You know, he like looks very down on sort of just the frivolous art makers. What's wrong with frivolous art, bro? You know, he's like, an artist must make serious art which reflects the people and tells the truth of their situation, you know, even though it's dangerous to do so because there are people who don't want their truth to be told in this way, blah blah. And that's true, that's true. Like, we do need people who tell the truth of the now, you know, and express it in ways which really affect people and gets people and push them to make changes, or, you know, to help others and blah blah. We do need those people, and thank God for Albert Camus. You know, he's clearly doing God's work, or he was. He's dead now, and that's fine. But I think also there are artists just very unseriously living their lives, doing art to the side of like also doing their dishes. You know, it's sometimes artists, that's not their whole life. Like, you live and breathe art because art is your thing. Sometimes people, you know, they're an accountant, they're plucking away all day, you know, and they're also doing art on the side, which makes them feel nice and makes other people feel nice, and is frivolous and is silly. Like, it's just an outlet for living in this world. Like, he takes a very dim view of just silly art, you know, as well. He was talking about how part of why artists in his time need to do serious things which say truths about the people now is because art in his time sort of has only recently become available to the masses. You know, before it was like a rich man's game, culture and everything. And I think that's also not true. Like, medieval peasants or whatever were still making art, but they weren't making, like, you know, oil paintings on canvas. They were still making art on, like, peasant art is still art. Like, yeah, it's not serious art. It's still, like, you know, artistic expression of living in this world, you know, an outlet to sort of creatively, you know, make your world how you want it. And I think this very serious view of the artist is not my view of an artist. That's a very serious dude right there. I reckon he was hard to sit next to at a party. Look, I just made frivolous art right now, and it was amazing. I feel amazing about it. Like, who wouldn't love this feeling of making frivolous art? Like, long live frivolous art. Okay, I've just finished this other one called Defense of Intelligence, and it's wild. It's got me thinking now, like, it's got the juices going, right? So he wrote it just after the Second World War, in like the sort of like witch hunt period where everyone in France was looking to persecute collaborators, you know, like if you worked with the Germans like in any way possible in the time of occupation, like people went after you, you know. And I guess like part of that is legitimate in that some people did really bad stuff with the Germans and they needed to be, I don't know, sort of they needed to be accountable for that. But loads of it just went wild. People were furious and they just like took things into their own hands and were vigilantes and just like really made people suffer without, you know, giving them a proper trial about things. Anyway, so he's like talking about that. And he's saying every morning for 4 years, each Frenchman received his ration of hatred and his slap in the face when he opened his newspaper. Necessarily, some of that has remained with us. We were left with hatred. We were left with the impulse that the other day in Dijon made a 14-year-old child fall upon a collaborator who had been lynched and disfigured his face. The executioner's hatred engendered the victim's hatred, and once the executioners had gone, the French were left with their hatred only partially spent. Like, that's like, I feel like that's a lot to think about. I think, you know, even later than that, even beyond that period, even in now, sort of misdirected hatred, you know, people who are so angry about things that are happening that there's nothing they can do about, instead of directing their hatred to action against those things, they're instead pulling their hatred toward people on their same side. Do you know what I mean? Just sort of shooting hatred all about because it's not gone from them, it's sort of built into them and now like misdirected. Oh my god, like, okay, like this Albert Camus, he's good. I'll give him that, he's good. But my god, he's serious. He takes himself very seriously. He's a very heavy dude. But so wise. Oh my god. Bear Week has started. So we're in Sitges, right? And they do like a gay pride parade and like a gay pride week. And they do loads of like gay events and stuff. Like I think they were like the first place to have a gay beach or something, like in the 30s or something, like really early. Anyway, they have a bear week. It's this week starting today where like guys come who are like bears. Like they're sort of, I don't know, a bit brawnier, a bit hairier, maybe a bit older than the average sort of stereotypical gay guy. And I love it. I'm loving it. I love Sitges so much. I don't want to leave. Like, don't make me leave, bro. It's the best place ever. But on an unrelated note, finish this one, and I'm gonna go 3 stars. 3 stars for that one. I mean, not the best one, but not terrible. It was okay. I didn't hate that. Tomorrow's book, I think, is a graphic novel. It's like the patent leather shorts propped to do with a graphic novel. And it's one I maybe will read with Anlin, and maybe just read on my ownsies. Why not? Why can't a grown woman read a middle grade graphic novel on her ownsies? Okay, that is the end of today's shorty vlog. Okay, the next one will be from Wales. Because today is our last day here in Spain. So not tomorrow, but the next day from sunny Cardiff. Okay, thank you for watching. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, please let me know. Please tell me what you're reading for Shorty September, or just September in general, because I immediately look that up and then add it to my list for me to read later.